Hello, my name is Daniel Tejeda and this is a Flappy Bird game exam for 2021. The basics of the game starts all within the code. We have our code down here and our scripts. We have a total of 6 scripts. We'll start off with the bird script. Basically, the bird script is just allowing the player's bird to have the force needed to be able to flap, aka fly. Here we show that the up force is 200F, and we show that if we put the input, which in our case is left trigger or left click on the mouse, we actually set the trigger flap with our up force. And again, our up force is 200F. We can change this to whatever value we want. For scrolling object code so that once the game ends, the game is not continuing to scroll. Instead, it stops. The velocity will be set to 0 once the game is over. That way the game doesn't continue even though we lost. On the repeating backgrounds code, it's basically the code so that the game can basically infinitely go on. So we have two backgrounds duplicated of one another, and each time one of the backgrounds goes off screen, it reduplicates itself and goes to the front of the game so that it continues a slideshow and then just forever infinitely just keeps going as long as we're alive. For columns, for the code columns, we're basically made the on trigger effect that once the bird goes between the columns, we actually go to game control instance. We get the code from game control instance. This script basically takes us to this code down here, which increases our score increment by 1 every time we go through a column. Now if we go to column pools, every column basically randomly spawn. And to do that, we basically have this code random range, and we set the minimum and the maximum of the columns and the positions of which they spawn at random values. And the values we put were column max, which in this situation, column min and column max is -1F and 3.5F. Now in game control everything from scroll speed to the text. You can see that we have the code so that we can restart the game, so that once we die, all we have to do is get mouse button down 0, which is left click on our mouse, to restart the game. Alright, so now let's go an example of how the game looks like once it's completed. So once I click on my left mouse, it should be flapping, which it is, which is great. The game is scrolling, everything's being proper. Once we go between these two columns, we should be able to get the score of 1. It is now a score of 2. On the next columns, it should be 3, and so on and so on. Oh, I died. Okay. Well, as you can see, the game was working. And once I die, it shows the game over, and if I want to restart, I just have to flap, which is the left click on our mouse, which it does restart. So this is my game for Flappy Game Exam Unity 2021. Thank you.